Hi guys, Dara here and I'm back with a new video. So in today's video I'll be talking about enchanting in Black Desert, and this will be my first ever so-called guide or tutorial on Black Desert itself. So in this video I'll be highlighting like why RNG does not really screw you over in Black Desert and how you will not be losing a huge amount of money if you were to be super unlucky in the Black Desert itself. So to start off this video, I need to bring you guys to a concept on this probability itself, and to make you guys let you guys understand like how this whole things work and how the whole enchantment system in Black Desert works. So I'm just open a notepad here and I'm just gonna show you for example. So let's say like let's say you have an enchantment at a passing rate of 10%. What this means is that there's a 10% chance of success, but there's a 90% chance of failure. If you were to apply this in probability sense, it means that your chances of success is very low and you probably fail the first time you try to do it. But if you understand probability, you'll know that the chances of you failing the second time is actually 90% times 90%. Chances of you failing your enchantment is actually 0.9 times 0.9, which brings you to 81%. So you can see here your chances of failure is actually decreasing as you keep failing. So you can't possibly like fail that amount of that you can't possibly fail a huge amount of times in a row, because the chances of you failing is actually going down and down and down and down. So how you want to calculate this is that, let's say you have 10% enchantment, right? So the chance of failure is actually 90%. So the chances of you failing a 10% enchantment 20 times in a row is actually 90% to the power of 20. And if you were to calculate, it will actually bring you to 0.9 to the power of 20, which is actually 0.121. So that is actually equals to 12%. So the chances of you failing a 10% enchantment 20 times in a row is actually 12%. So you'll probably pass the enchantment before you even hit like 20 times in a row. So to calculate that is actually 9 to the power of 7, bringing 47%. So basically on the 7th try you probably pass it. So if you were to apply this in Black Desert logic, it makes a hell of sense, because like let's give an example with life scale clothes for example. So in life scale clothes, we have, let's say, fisher clothes, like fisherman clothes. So a fisherman clothes itself is actually 131,000, and to pry it, after you pry it, it'll be worth 437k, right? So to get fisherman clothes, you need 2 fisherman clothes, which will be around 262k. So 262k for a shot to get a 437k worth of clothes. The chances of you passing an life scale clothes for pry at 0 fail stack is actually 30%, which means that you'll probably pass the enchantment on your second try, because 0.7 times 0.7 equals to 0.49. So the chances of you failing is actually low when you are on your second try. So which means that it'll probably cost you 262k times 2 equals to 500 and if I'm not sure if it's correct, 524k, around there. So it costs you 524k, and you'll be like, oh, that still costs that's still like, it's much more worth buying from the marketplace. Well, true, it's much more worth buying from the marketplace, but you also need to take note that usually the marketplace doesn't have the item in stock, and also like fail stack itself is worth a sum of money. And that's what most people don't realize, is that fear stack itself costs money. So if you were to fear the enchantment on your first try, you will be actually getting 1 fear stack from it. And let's say you're on 0 fear stack right now, right? And you have to fear on the first try. You'll get 1 fear stack, which is actually worth 1 fear stack is actually worth 84k. So how you want to see it is that you're actually spending this amount of money to enchant the item itself. So if you were to calculate itself, it will be 524 minus 84k. It will be, let's see, 440k. So you can see it's not a huge difference, it's just 3k. And this applies to all the items in Black Desert. The prices is usually affected by like the amount of items that is in stock, but it's usually around this. It's around the same price as it costs you to enchant an item, inclusive of the fear stack also. So you can see from here, you're not actually losing much money if you were to do an enchantment, and you will still fear it. So that's one thing that I hope you guys realize, is that you can't possibly fear that amount of times in a row, that huge amount of times in a row. And also, like, fear stack itself is worth money, so as long as you're using a fear stack chart and that you're just following it, you're fine. Yeah, you won't be losing much money. You're fine. You can have 100 fear stack and you can still fear enchant, but the chances of you fear enchant so many times in a row is actually very low, that it's not gonna bother you actually. So let's say like you're very unlucky. Okay, I just give you an example. You're super unlucky. So let's say you're trying to pry a life scale clothes. Sorry, trying to pry a life scale clothes, and that's a 30% chance of success, right? So you're trying to pry a life scale clothes and you fail it 10 times in a row. Like, you're super unlucky. What's the chances that you'll fail 10 times in a row? So yeah, failing 10 times in a row. So failing 10 times in a row would actually be let's see, it'll be 0.7, because that's the chances of failure, and the power of 10. So you can see here, the chances of you failing 10 times in a row is actually 2%, which is super low, because that's probably not gonna happen, because the chance of you failing an enchantment 10 times in a row is actually at 2%. So if you put this logic into like your enchantment and stuff, you just know that as long as you're following a fear stack chart, you're enchanting correctly, doesn't matter how many times you fear, RNG will always be on your side, because as long as you're doing it correctly, it's always on your side. So yeah, that's what you guys need to take note of. This game is not a race. It's not like a race to see how fast you can enchant an item. It's just marathon. Eventually you will have the chances to be on your side itself. So yeah, this is what I want you guys to know. And yeah, that's the end of my so-called video, and I hope you guys learned a thing or two. It's quite confusing, like how can an item, like, you know, fail so many times in a row and then like suddenly the chances of you passing is actually damn high. The same concept goes to like how can you win so many times in a row? You know, the chances of you winning so many times in a row is actually low. It's like it gets lower each time as you keep winning. So the same goes for failing an enchantment many times in a row. So yeah, that's why you guys want to know that's why I want you guys to take note of, and not to be upset when you fail an enchantment that costs a huge amount of money, because eventually you are still not losing money. The money just goes to your first stack itself. So yeah, that's all my tutorial. Not really tutorial, just a guide, so-called public announcement on this whole system itself. I hope you guys learned a thing or two, and yeah, thanks guys for watching, and bye.